Okay, we're ready. We're on record. We've got silent mode. I've got my gallery. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be starting this again. We're going to start the 6th series using the chakras, the chakra series. So we're going to start with the first chakra today. The first chakra is the root chakra. So it's going to be everything balanced. We are going to create space to find balance in our practice on the mat so that we can take this balance into our day off the mat. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of breath work and a lot of floating. So see that you find your comfortable seated position as we begin, using a block or a cushion. See that you're upright enough so that you're able to tilt your pelvis to create that space in your chest so that you can breathe. And so you can sit effortlessly. Effortlessly means that you're not holding muscles to find comfort, that you are absolutely at ease. And often it is helpful when we're lifted in the hips. So if you were to look down, you see that your knees are a little bit lower than your hips. And that means that you've tilted your pelvis so that you can, again, feel this upright space in your spine. So find that position, and I invite you to close your eyes as we begin our practice. As you arrive in your space, on your mat, on your cushion, in your body, and ever so gently, just start to bring your attention and awareness to your breath. And whatever your breath is in this moment, just notice it and invite it with a little bit more purpose each time you inhale, feeling that breath fill your lungs and expand your chest a little bit more. And the idea here is just to find softness and ease. So often when we think of filling the chest, we rush to expand and fill. It feels forceful. See if you can do this with complete ease and awareness. The breath inhales and you start to feel expansion. And each time you exhale, just imagine that exhale being a sigh, so you're just releasing. And as you're watching the breath fill up your lungs, notice how wide the chest gets, how far up that breath comes into your chest. Does it reach your collarbones? Does it reach your shoulders? And if that even sounds strange, don't worry about it. Just feel your chest expand. And each time you exhale, feel this soft release. Each time we inhale, it becomes a contraction. And each time we exhale, it softens. Continue feeling the breath fill you and feeling the breath let go. Inhaling and exhaling. And while you're breathing like this, just feel your body. Just notice if you're becoming more in tune with your body. Noticing how you're seated, feeling the mat or the bolster underneath your sits bones, feeling the sense of rooting, this strong foundation. And each time we inhale, just feel from the sits bones or from the tailbone, that lengthening breath draw all the way up your spine, maybe even to the crown of your head. And again, remembering each exhale is a sigh, it is a letting go. And each time we let go, can you feel any tension, any holding, any resistance in your body start to soften. And even imagine that tension that may be in your shoulders and in your neck where we mostly hold tension. Imagine it rolling down your arms, down into your hands and off your fingertips into the earth with each exhale. So you're energetically starting to feel this release from all the weight that you take on. Start to dissipate, release, fall into the earth. Each time you exhale, feel yourself grounding. And each time you inhale, feel yourself lengthening. Our breath is such a powerful tool, and it becomes more powerful with awareness. How in tune and how aware are you to your breath? Remember, this is not judgment. This is not analyzing, am I doing this? Am I good? Am I bad? This is just about observing. Where am I right now? How is this? How does this feel in this moment? And let's just do a little scan in the body and just notice if you are softening the muscles in the face. You mostly hold tension in the jaw area. Can you relax your jaw? Maybe even just lick your lips. That often just allows the whole lip, jaw, tongue area to soften. And then how are you around the eyes and deep in the eye socket? Can you soften and relax the eyes, the eyeballs, and all the muscles that often hold the tension to create that strain and maybe even tension in the head? And then just feel your head relaxing over the shoulders, balancing on the neck. Maybe even sway or rock the head from left to right or yes, no, and just feel that there's fluidity and ease, letting go of that stiffness. And maybe just a few little movements in the shoulders and just let them drop. And allowing that energy that may still be lingering in the shoulders to again draw down the hands off your body into the mat. And feeling the weight of your body into the mat. Your legs and your feet press into the mat. And then feeling a sense of grounding. This practice is all about finding your foundation, your rooting down, stability, strength from the earth. Feeling stable. Feeling like you belong, that you're safe. So let's bring our hands in front of our heart just to begin. You can have them in prayer position, one over top of one another, but the idea here is really to bring your awareness to that heart space. And then just take a moment to create an intention. Why are you here? How does this theme affect you in your life? Feeling grounded, feeling rooted, finding that balance back to you. And remembering that balance is really a holistic approach. Feeling balance physically, which we'll do clearly on the mat, but also feeling a balance emotionally. Just knowing what will serve us and what won't, and what we can let go of so that we feel emotionally grounded and stable. And then the spiritual aspect, just connecting deeply inward to our heart and just asking the questions. What is it that's important to me? What is it that I love? What is it that I need? And then just being still and listening. So create that intention and let's just take a moment just to be still. And then with that intention, we'll start with one Om just to lift that awareness through our voice. And we'll begin. We'll take one inhale, one exhale, and then on that second inhale, we'll begin sharing our own. So take a full inhale here and let it go. And again, inhaling, and we'll begin. Oh. And just pause with that. Observe, notice, feel. That's why we're here. And then gently let your hands drop down, blink your eyes open. And as we come into this space, eyes open here with awareness, again, just notice, stay connected to your body, stay connected to your own energy. What are you feeling? And we're going to start the practice with a little breath practice, which is known as alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana in Sanskrit. And this is a really lovely practice to balance both the hemispheres of the brain, the left and the right, because we're going to be doing holding one nostril shut as we inhale, up the other, exhale. I'll show you in a moment. But each nostril represents the lunar and the solar side. So the left and the right hemisphere, the masculine and the feminine. And when we breathe through both, we're balancing both hemispheres. We're balancing both our energetic masculine and feminine sides. And one represents sleep, calm, and relaxed. The other one represents energetic, awake, feeling alive. And this is just a great way to find balance. And it's a really lovely practice to do during the day when you're feeling a little chaotic, when you're feeling out of sorts, okay? It lowers your blood pressure, especially if you're feeling anxious or even depressed. It balances that. Studies have shown that this is the actual fact, what it does to your physiology. So use your right hand. Generally, it's your prominent hand for whatever you write with. But a lot of people say use your right hand anyway. So it's your call. We're going to roll in the pointer finger and the middle finger. So the second and third finger, I guess, if you want to call it that. And it ends up being that we're going to use the right thumb and the right ring finger. Start by closing the right nostril. And we're taking a full inhale up the left nostril, inhaling all the way up, count to 4. Pause, close the left nostril, open the right nostril with your right thumb. And we're going to exhale, count to 4, 3, 2, 1, out the right side. Pause again, close the right side. Sorry, no, don't close the right side. We're going to inhale up the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we close the right side, pause, open the left side, exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Pause. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, close, open right, exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale the right side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Close right, open left, exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, close, open right, exhale, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale up the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, close, left opens, exhale, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to just continue by saying inhale and exhale. Inhale, close, exhale. Inhale, close, open, exhale. Inhale, Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we'll do one more round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. And then gently just bring your hands to your thighs. Close your eyes and breathe normally through both nostrils. And again, just observe, just feel this new awareness, this new experience, if there is one. And again, if there isn't, it doesn't matter. And then gently keeping your eyes open and coming to your mat. Coming to your mat, we're going to start in child's pose. So forehead to the mat, knees maybe hip width apart. Again, see that you can root down over your heels, keeping your spine long and just fold forward. If you need to get a bolster or a block under your forehead, know that everything is okay. There's no right or wrong how you show up on the mat. So just find your comfortable position. Maybe your arms are overhead. Maybe they are alongside your body. Rock your body from left to right a little bit. Maybe just roll your shoulders a little bit. See how you are arriving here on the mat, how your body's feeling in this little ball. Feel your forehead press into the mat or the block. Feel this connection into your third eye, sixth chakra. This intuitive nature allowing us to stay connected inward. And take 3 breaths here, inhaling and feeling your rib cage and your belly expand, press into your thighs. And as you exhale, feel your whole body soften and let go. So no muscles are activated. Inhale again. Then exhale, soften. And one more breath here. Use that Ujjayi breath if you're familiar. Exhale. You might even want to sigh it out. And just rocking left to right. Let's take those arms overhead. If they're not overhead, reaching those fingertips as though you want to walk off the mat with your hands. Start to feel the stretch in the upper arms, into the shoulders, into the armpits. And as you reach your arms further, can you sink your hips back even more? So feel this lengthening in the sides of your body. Continue to take big breaths into your ribs, feeling the chest expand. This alone is a beautiful stretch just by breathing. Let's take both of our hands off the mat to the left. And as you reach to the left, press your right hip to your right heel. And then set your right hand on top of your left wrist as though you're anchoring it there. And then taking a few breaths, really stretching that right side of your body, inhaling and exhaling.
Find that Ujjayi breath. Hear your own breath. Inhale. Then exhale. Where is it along that right side of your body you're feeling that breath the most? Inhale one more time. And exhale. Walk those hands through the center, taking them off to the right side of the mat. Press your left hip now into your left heel. So you're really drawing to the left. Your left hand grabs your right wrist and really pull and feel that left side of your body lengthen a little bit more. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So you're feeling that breath open. You take one more breath here. And exhale. Take both hands overhead. Spread your fingers nice and wide. We're going to do this little wave like we sometimes do in plank pose, but we're going to do it in child's pose. So come up off your knees, keep your back rounded, and then slowly stretch the front of your body and lift with your knees to the floor into this upward dog. Feel your heart open. And then tuck your toes, sink the hips back, and just stretching through the heels, feeling the soles of your feet. Now wake up. We're going to do the same thing again, just rolling through the spine, rolling forward. I call it a wave. And then let your hips drop and then lift your heart. Dial those hands out so you're feeling the shoulder blades kind of come together here. Keep those toes tucked under and then come back, stretching through the toes, stretching through the ankles and the calves. And one more like this. Feel each vertebrae rounding as you are rolling forward. And start to feel your hips dip, front of your chest lengthen, and your heart open. And feel the crown of your head reach to the sky. And then tuck those toes again if they've untucked. Sink the hips back. Come into this nice stretch through the soles, through the toes. And then slowly, let's just come up onto the table. Spread those fingers nice and wide, hands under your shoulders. Inhaling, arching the back. Feel those shoulder blades pinch together as you lift your heart. And exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Feel them round, and then lift the middle of your spine to the ceiling. Look to your navel. Inhale again, arching and lifting. Dialing those hands and exhale, rounding, curving the spine, and gaze to your navel. Inhaling, really with intention, feel the shape of your body change. Exhaling, around the spine. One more like this, inhale. And exhaling around. Let's just make some circles. So take your knees a little bit wider. We're coming into the hips and into the wrists. So keep your awareness in those hips. And as you come forward, feel the hand flatten the mat and feel that nice stretch in the wrists. Maybe pull up the forearm. And again, don't do anything that doesn't feel right. Find an adjustment. Don't go as deep. And listen to your body. Let's take that rotation in the opposite direction. And if it feels better, make your knees a little bit wider. That will get into your hips a little bit more. And as you're going back, awareness in the hips. As you're going forward, awareness in your wrists. And then come back into a table. We're going to take both hands to the left and the right. So the fingertips are pointing to the left and the right. And we're going to just rock from left and right. Rock from left and right and start to feel that stretch into the fingers. How are your elbows feeling? How are your shoulders feeling when you're doing this? Okay, because we're practicing the first chakra, so lots around balance today. So we want to prepare the wrists, we want to prepare the feet, the ankles. Take your fingertips back towards back of the room. And once again, just rock forward and backward, just gently. See how far you can go with your whole palm still on the floor. And then find a breath again that synchronizes to this movement. And then just see how far can you go back. Maybe you want to hold it. Again, play around what works for you, what doesn't. And then start to take your knees forward so that they're in line with your wrists. Okay, so that it looks like this. And then sink back. So your heels and your hips are connecting, and maybe they don't, and that's fine too. And then from here, walk the wrists just a little bit further forward. Again, just play around with it. And then from here, we're gonna switch it up. Oh, sorry, let's lift up nice and slowly. So as you're lifting up, feel that the fingers are getting a nice deep stretch. So don't come out of this too quickly. And then just make some nice circular motions with your wrists. Let's clasp the hands. How are those wrists feeling? And they're gonna feel a little bit, I don't know if it's fatigued or just if the stretch is so intense. So I've been doing this for quite a while, and my wrists have really improved. So at first it was really challenging. So just feel it and then just shake it out. There's no real tension. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the tops of the hands. So it's really important that we have the weight in our hips so that we're in control. But take the tops of the hands and see if you can press into the tops of the hands. So we're doing the opposite. So we're not putting, our weight is on our body, but you're pushing into your hands. And see if you can start to straighten your elbows. Okay, so you're really getting your hands flat. And then from here, can you just roll your fingers in? And then slowly unroll. So these are weird little exercises, but they're really, really beneficial for keeping your nervous system really activated. So you know you don't get numb fingers, and so that you're keeping all the little tendons and the ligaments in the forearms alive and awake. Okay, and then slowly peel those hands off the mat again. And again, either shake it out or see what feels right for you. You might feel a lot of tension in both directions now. We're going to come into Anahatanasana. So we're going to release the wrists for now. Hips over heels, walk the hands forward, let the heart soften. So as I often do, I always like to start by warming up our joints, our wrists, our ankles, our shoulders, our hips. So now we're just coming into the shoulders more. You can let your forehead rest to the floor or your chin, however feels most aligned with where you're at today. And as you are in this pose, really imagine you want to press your sits bones back to the wall behind you and push the hands deeply into the mat. And you're going to feel a deeper stretch into the armpits. And this is really what we want to open up. Let your heart soften. Imagine you're pulling your hands towards you and your knees towards you, but your sits bones up to the sky. So lots going on. And then from here, start to walk or lift yourself up. We're going to go a little deeper. If you have your blocks handy, grab your blocks. Actually, it is a little bit deeper because we're higher up away from the floor, so we're going to be hanging a little deeper. But we're going to be stretching through the shoulders here again. Come back into this Anahatanasana, or this heart opening pose. See that your hips are over your knees. And just set your hands over the blocks. Okay? And let the heart soften. Let the head drop. And this is like an Anahatanasana, just letting your chest find a little more space. And now what we're going to do, we're going to imagine we're pushing our hands so much into the blocks that we're starting to lift our chest away. So as we lift our chest away, you might feel your core start to engage. And imagine you want to round your back, but you're pushing your hands deeply into the mat. And you're going to deepen that stretch through the shoulders. So you're really pushing into the mat, drawing your navel in like you want to round your back, and then soften and relax like you want to arch your back. And then push into the hands, into the blocks, round the spine. Imagine you're pulling those blocks towards you, and then slowly release. So you might feel a deeper stretch into the chest, into the pectoid muscles, shoulders, armpits. And one more like this, push the hands into the blocks. Imagine you're pulling those blocks towards you. You're rounding your back. You're drawing your navel in. It's a very, very subtle movement. And then exhale, soften and release. And if this is too much, you can keep your hands on the floor. Again, listen to your body. Anything I suggest doesn't feel right, take it back one step. Remove those blocks. And just notice how your shoulders, your arms are feeling. Let's tuck those toes under again, downward dog, and pedal it out. And just alternate your left and your right. Give your head a shake here. How's that head feeling? How is the neck? See that there's nice lubrication there. And each pedal, see if you can press the heel to the floor. And if it doesn't touch the floor, it doesn't matter. But just allow the stretch to deepen the back of the legs. And then from here, we're going to just inhale that right leg. Big, big length stretch from your fingertips to your right toe. All right. Again, this is already balancing. Balancing on 3 points. Take your right ankle and make some nice big circles here. And then just play around with your hips. And you square the hips a little bit more. That would mean to make an internal rotation of that right leg, that right hip, that right thigh. Play around with that ankle. And while you're here, are you pushing evenly into your hands? Stay in awareness with your entire body. Exhale that right leg to the floor. Pedal it out in between. How are those legs feeling? How are those hands feeling? And inhale, let's lift the left side. Find the leg. Feel your fingertips driving forward and your left toe driving back. Square those hips and then just make some nice circular motions with your left ankle. Big circles. Give the head a shake. See that your jaw's relaxed here. And then exhale, set the foot down. And then from here, we're going to come back onto our knees. We're going to come into balancing. We're going to set the right hand to the mat. We're going to set the right, imagine a line in the middle of your mat. Right hand, right knee, right foot. And then your left foot opens up. We're going to do some variations of Vashisthasana, which is balancing as well. You're creating a straight line with all the points on the mat. Your right hand is just a little bit in front of you, not completely underneath your shoulder, so that you've got some leverage. And then gently take the gaze to your left thumb. Slowly with feel, can you feel what your body does as you lift your left leg? You're shifting the weight into your right hand. And then reach the fingertips to the sky, inhaling and exhaling. You need to activate that core. And then from here, we're going to just come into a gentle back bend by bending our extended left leg, taking our left hand to the foot. If that doesn't work, that's fine. Then just bend the leg and keep the arm open. If you can grab that foot, push the foot into the hand, pull the foot with the hand towards you, and just feel a deepening opening of the heart. And then keep breathing. How stable can you be here? Stay in your body. As soon as we start thinking about our to-do list, we lose balance. And then release. Let the hand and the arm extend. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're going to switch sides. Left hand, left leg, left foot, and then the right foot. Creating one straight line. And then extend your right arm to the sky. Left hand is just a little bit out in front, not completely underneath your shoulder. And then take the gaze to your right thumb and activate your core and slowly start to shift the weight into your left hand as you lift that right leg. Feel stability, stay connected to your breath, and imagine your right fingertips want to touch the sky. Ever so gently, we're bending the extended leg, grabbing the foot with the hand, and then slowly push into the hand with the foot, pull that foot back with the hand, and find the deepest back bend, still allowing you to stay stable. Jaws relaxed, heart is opening, breath is flowing. Whoopsie, I lost my balance. And if you do, that's fine too. And then slowly release hand and foot, and then exhale back down to the mat. And then from here, we're going to keep the toes long, and we're going to sit back over the heels. We're going to just wake up the tops of the feet by stretching that front part of your feet, taking the hands behind us. Take the hands behind us, and as you lean back, can you start to lift your knees off the floor? Lift the knees off, and you're going to start to feel the front of the foot, the top of the foot, get a nice length, lengthening stretch. And then ever so gently just come back out of it. And we're going to come back into it again. See if you can start with your hands behind you, and then ever so gently take one hand off. Maybe you can take the other hand off, continue to lean back and feel that stretch, but be in control. This is all about balance as well. Lift the heart. Taking a few breaths and just feeling that stretch on the front of your feet. Awesome. And then slowly let it roll forward, hands back down to the mat. And just tap those feet out or tap the toes under, rock your heels from left to right. Again, for everyone, it might be a little bit different. And let's come back into downward dog. So how do your joints and the ankles and the wrists, shoulders and the hips? And then inhale. We're going to just take little tiny baby steps to the top of your mat. And just come into this nice forward fold angle. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you're really feeling the weight in the front of your feet. Grab onto your opposite elbows. And just take a few breaths here. So you're really feeling this release from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Every single muscle is softened. Your legs are active. And then ever so slowly, let's roll up one vertebrae at a time. Come all the way to standing. Gaze to your thumbs as you reach your arms to the sky. Stay here. Gaze to the thumbs. And ever so slowly, feel into your body. Maybe you need to look in front of you to the ceiling or find another focal point. Come onto your tippy toes. And as you come onto your tippy toes, start to feel your quadriceps engage, your knees draw up with all the muscles in your legs. Draw your navel in as well, so you're feeling that core stabilize you. And breathe. Reach your fingertips higher. And then ever so slowly, we're going to exhale, come on, stay on our tippy toes, come down towards our knees. Keep the arms overhead. So we're just bending the knees. We're going to come into a little squat, and you're still looking forward. So we're not coming onto the knees, we're just coming down, bending the knees. And you're still on your toes, and you're still looking up, and you're still reaching up. And now ever so gently, bring the hands in front of the heart, look down in front of you, and we're going to just slowly take the knees to the floor. And again, you may want to get a blanket or a bolster under your knees. See if you can find your balance so that you lean forward and then slowly lift back up, bringing those knees off the floor. We'll do that again. And again, feel the balance in your core. Let those knees drop. And then ever so gently, see if you can lift both knees back up. Come all the way back up to standing on your tippy toes. Woo! And then continue to reach up. Maybe your toes are starting to feel it too. And then exhale, release the hands and let your heels come back down to the floor. And then just take those feet, make some nice movements in those feet. How are they feeling? And then we're going to just make some nice movements in the knees. So just get some circular movements, knees together, knees wide. Again, another neglected part of our body that just gets abuse. Take that rotation in the opposite direction. Beautiful. And then coming to the top of our mats. Once again, we will begin our full on flow. Take the arms up, take the gaze to the thumbs. And as we exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, deep fold, reach, setting the hands beside the feet. Give the head a little shake here and transfer the weight in the front of your body. Each time we fold, we are leaning forward and sending the sits bones high. Inhale, Urdhva Uttanasana. And again, legs are straight and we feel a gentle back bend. Either your hands on your thighs or your hands on blocks or your hands on the floor. Neither is better than the other. It's exactly where you are in your body. That's right for you. And then just hold here. Feel that nice length up the back of the legs. Pull your kneecaps up gently. Feel that you're doing just a baby bend in your knee, micro bend so that you're not hyperextending those legs. And you're feeling a gentle back bend. Again, no matter where you're at, every forward fold has an expression of a back bend. See that you feel it gently. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And once again, it's a transferring the weight into the front of your feet. That's what's going to deepen the stretch. Let's release the hands back down to the floor. Take 2 big steps back, coming into plank. Inhale your right leg in plank. Feel balance here. Draw your navel in. Lift your heart. Exhale that leg, lift the left leg. And just notice the difference between both sides and having 3 points opposed to 4 points. Exhale that leg back down. We're going to come into 3 points first. Lift that right leg again. Stabilize here. And then lift your left hand. Inhale. And exhale. Set the hand down. Set the foot down. A lot of it has to do with strength. So this is where the strength comes in. Lift the left leg. And then gently find your balance to lift that right arm. Inhaling. And exhale the hand and the foot back down. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Give the head a shake. Inhale your right leg again. 3-legged dog. Exhale, let's pull that right foot to the inside of your right hand. Drop your left knee. Low lunge, low warrior. Inhale the arms. And each time we exhale, sink into that right knee. So just starting to feel the hips. Inhaling and exhaling. We're balanced here because we've got a nice strong foundation on both sides. Let's clasp the hands behind the back and inhale. Find a little bit more space. Exhale. Take another breath. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Let's take the arms up to the sky again. Windmill the hands down. We're going to continue to stay here. We're going to just bend that back knee. And we're going to windmill once again. Just coming into, this ends up being a back bend. And we are stretching the front left quadricep, the psoas muscle. Nice big muscle that is generally tight, most of us, because we sit. We like chairs. And then look over your right shoulder. Inhaling. Each time you exhale, bring awareness into your right knee. Can you sink and let those hips drop a little bit more? Take one more breath. Exhale, release the hands back down to the floor. Sorry. We're going to lift that left knee off the floor and open up into twisted lunge. Gaze to your right thumb. And once again, can you sink into your right knee? Can you come into more into your hips? And what we're going to do from here is we're going to come into Vashisthasana. So we can come into it in stages by setting the right foot to the middle, or you can come to it gracefully. See if you can slowly transition, stacking the legs. And once again, gaze to your thumb. Inhaling and exhaling. So your modification is having that top leg just in the middle. Again, you're still using your core, you're still balancing. Or you can have one foot in front of the other, of course. Taking one more breath, reach your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, come back through plank, and then send your hips high. Adho Mukha Svanasana, give the head a shake. Pedal those legs out. Inhale your left leg, 3-legged dog. And exhale, set your knee in towards your chest, your foot to the inside of your left hand. Right knee drops, warrior one, lunge. Variation, lift the heart. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Just breathe into your hips here. Inhaling and exhaling. So feeling this balance here, feeling stable. Inhaling and exhaling. So clasp your hands behind your back. And this time switch the fingers so that your other thumb is on top and your other baby fingers on the bottom. Inhaling, lift the heart. And exhale, sink deep. Breathe in through your nose, fill your lungs. And exhale through your nose. Take one more breath here. Each time, see if you can soften and sink a little deeper. Take those arms up with your next inhale. Windmill the hands back down. Stay here. We're going to bend the back knee. Inhaling, lifting that left arm back to touch the foot, to grab the foot. And again, if your hand doesn't touch the foot, doesn't matter. Bend the leg anyway. Imagine you're reaching for it. Over time, you're going to create more space. Inhale, look over that left shoulder. And exhale. Can we soften and deepen into that left knee? Inhaling. And exhale. And another thing to notice with your right arm, see that you're not slouching into the shoulder, but you're pushing the floor away, allowing space through that shoulder and through your chest. So gently release your left hand from your foot. Come back to twisted lunge. So we're taking the left arm to the sky this time. And inhale, gaze to your thumb. And exhale, root down. Take another breath here. Really push into the right hand. Really feel your fingertips reach the sky. And we're going to come into that transition Vashisthasana. See if you want to pause in between halfway to set up, or see if you can also not set your foot into the floor. Challenge yourself and go so slowly coming into this side plank. Take the fingertips to the sky. Draw your navel in. Feel strength and stability in your core. Take one more breath and exhale through plank and Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. You have the head, nice little rotation, have those legs out. Let's turn both feet to the right. Feel that right side of your body stretch. And then turn both feet to your left and bend into your knees. Feel the left side of your body lengthen and stretch. And then come back to downward dog. Inhale your right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, put your right foot to the inside of your right hand. Nice deep lunge, warrior one, inhaling. And exhale, sink a little deeper. Take another breath here, inhale. And exhale. We're going to transfer the weight forward. So coming into this 45-degree angle. Again, stabilize from the core, transfer the weight. We're going to come through warrior three. So keep your heart facing towards the floor, but shining forward. Lift the chest. See that you are lengthening and opening up. Feel stable on your standing leg. Okay, this is strength. Feel your kneecap pull up, your quadriceps engage, and the sole of your foot is rooting you. And then slowly, 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 we're going to come transition to standing. Pull your left knee into your chest as you come to standing. And then let's use the hands. Pull that knee a little bit further and really feel this lift. Set the hands and let them slide down to the shin. And then slowly release the left hand and pull your left leg behind you. Can you grab your foot with your right hand so that both of your feet are grabbing the foot? If you can't, it doesn't matter. It will just help maybe for balance a little bit more. And then from here, we're going to just lift the chest as we lean forward and see what happens to that back leg. Inhaling, a little variation of dancer's pose. And if you're just using one hand, take your other arm out in front. Once again, find the balance. Let's come back to standing. Pull that left knee into your chest again. And then slowly, we're going to come into variation of pigeon pose as our left leg crosses over. So this is all balance. This is all feeling stable and finding that core foundation. That's where it comes from. Flatten your foot. Feel the balance. Open your heart. Take one more breath here. And then slowly, slowly come back. Pull that knee into your chest once again. And then slowly come forward into warrior three. And from here, we're going to step into warrior two. Bend into your step front leg and make it so graceful. Find the mat behind you and then sink deep into that front knee. Nice and deep. Turn your right hand to the sky and inhale, windmill the arm. And then feel that right side of your body open again. Inhaling and exhale. Can you sink into your front knee a little bit more? Inhale and exhale. Finding stillness and being at peace with that. Take one more breath. One more exhale. And on your next inhale, warrior two. Straightening that front leg. Give that leg a little pause. And then we're going to sink deep again. Come into warrior two. See if you can set your hand to the inside of your right foot. Coming a little bit deeper. You might want to grab a block. So depending on where your hips are feeling open, and then take the gaze to your thumb. And then from here, we're going to grab this bottom block if you need it. And we're going to take it a little bit further forward, coming into half moon pose. Half moon pose means that the distance between our hands and foot end up being the same as the distance between our hip and our shoulder. And then we start to transition the weight into our right hand and start to open and stack the hips. I like to have my hand on my left hip and imagine I'm winding it open as though to really stack them. And then taking your left hand to stack over your right arm. And then ever so gently, once you're here, start to take your eyeballs to the sky. And know that if there's a challenge, take your time, start again, be graceful, and breathe. See that the breath is full and fluid, but soft and purposeful. And then from here, bend into your standing leg. Ever so gently, step that left leg back. Come back into warrior two. Windmill the arms, squaring the hips in front of the room, warrior one. And then windmill the hands back down to the floor. Send your right leg back, three-legged dog. And lower that right foot to the mat. Left leg, three-legged dog. And ever so gently pull that knee to the chest, set the foot to the inside, and then coming up into warrior one. Exhale, sink deep. Inhaling and exhaling. Take another breath, find length here. Exhale, come into this 45-degree angle. So really feel your spine long. We'll turn around already. And then from here, transferring the weight into that left leg, standing, and then coming into warrior three. Again, bring the attention to your extended right leg and see if you can rotate, internally rotate that right thigh so the hips stay squared. Take one more breath here. Feel length in your body. From your fingertips to your toe, slightly bend into your standing leg. So as you come to standing, you have that stability, pulling that right knee into your chest. Inhaling. Find balance. Hands slide down the shin, and then slowly pulling that leg behind you. And maybe you can even pull the heel to the glutes. So you're really feeling that nice deep stretch. When you do this, imagine you want to press your knee to the floor. Going to deepen and intensify the stretch here. Your left hand maybe grabs the foot. Find that space in your chest. That's why we opened up through the shoulders. Maybe this is where you stay. And if it doesn't reach, that's fine too. We're going to exhale, bend slightly in the standing leg, and then slowly start to draw into the hands with the foot. And if you're released and your left hand is out in front of you, it works just the same. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly come back to standing, and then pulling that right knee into your chest once again. And then coming into a variation pigeon pose with your right heel on top of your left knee. And then come back nice and deep. Take those arms up. Flex your right foot so that you're really protecting the knee. And with each breath, can you take it a little deeper? And again, this is all about balancing. It is about creating the space in your body. It's not even about finding it. It's about creating it, feeling it through breath, through concentration, through this gentle movement. Taking one more breath here, and inhale, come back to standing. Pull that knee into your chest once again. And then ever so gently, we're going to come back into warrior three. Extend, take the arm forward and back. Gently step your right leg back. Make it so graceful that the mat hardly notices that foot joined. Come into warrior two. Take the left hand, open it up, lengthening to the left side of the body. Exhale, sink deep. Inhale, reach those left fingertips to the back wall. And each time you exhale, can you sink deeper in that knee? So do you feel how strong your muscles are holding you here? All about balance and strength. Take one more breath and then exhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, give it a little break. Exhale, sink deep into that front leg and let that hand come down wherever it comes down. You might even want to stay right here on the thigh, remembering that there's variations for everything. Left arm reaches up and over. So find that diagonal. I don't know if we did that before. You can even have your arms up and down. So whatever you did on the other side. And each breath, we're bending into that left knee. So feel the muscles really activate to hold you here. Transferring into half moon, grab a block, set it out in front of you, just enough that you're feeling that the distance aligns the same from your hips to your armpits to your hand and your foot. And then pushing into that bottom hand. Again, the block can be at any height, or maybe you don't use the block. And then start to unwind. Open the body, stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Take the arm to the sky, and at the very end, start to take the gaze up to the thumb. This is the most challenging part of the pose, to still stay in your body, to feel that stability that you've created, and then breathing here. Everything is slow with awareness staying in your body. Take one more breath, reaching your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, take the gaze back down so you've got a solid foundation. Bend into your standing leg. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Sink deep here. Inhale, square those hips, warrior one. And then windmill the hands. Might even want to stay here a little bit. Make a few more motions. I think it feels nice through the shoulders. And then set the hands back down to the floor. Left leg comes behind you, three-legged dog. Exhale, let those heels, imagine that they're pressing the direction of the floor. Whether they touch or not, doesn't matter. And then find 5 breaths here in downward dog, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. We're slowing the breath down. We're taking control. Inhale, count to 4. And exhale, count to 4. Take one more here. One more exhale. And then slowly, let's walk our hands to the back of the mat. Come back into this nice forward fold. Take your feet a little bit wider than normal. Mat width, hip width, and dangle. And then slowly, slowly let your hips drop down. We're going to come into Malasana, which is this nice hip opening pose. And we'll move a little bit further forward. And see if you can, as best as you can, keep your toes pointing forward and your knees pointing forward. And again, that has to do with ankle mobility. So it may not be the case at this point, but eventually we want to keep everything aligned. Hands in front of the heart. Use those elbows to open those hips. Inhaling, find the balance. And exhale. So we're going to just take the right hand to the left ankle. Take the left arm open. So just an easy twist here. Well, it's just not an easy twist. This is a challenging twist. Making a twist here. Take your left hand behind your head. And we're going to just come into a little tuck here. Imagine you want to press your elbow to the floor. Inhale, open it back up. And exhale, tap your elbow to the floor. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, tap your elbow to the floor. So this is core. You're going to feel your core needing to engage as you twist like this. Take one more like this, elbow to the sky. Take your hand to the sky and exhale. Bring your hands back in front of your heart. And at any time, you can use a block under your hips if this ends up being too challenging. Left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Open up your right arm. Inhale, find length. Then take the hand behind your head and exhale. Tap the elbow towards the floor. Inhale, open it up. Synchronize breath and movement. Exhale. Inhale. Open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. And last time, inhale, open. Release the arm up to the sky. Come back. Hands to prayer. And now we're going to come into crow pose. Crow pose. Yes, crow pose. Hands to the floor. Balancing on our hands. All about creating the balance. We're creating what we're doing here. Okay, we don't have to look for it. It's here. We just have to make the positions right so that it works. Hands drop in front of us. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And the knees, let's lift the hips up nice and high. The knees eventually want to go higher, higher, higher. But at first, depending on how tight hips are, the knees may be at the elbows. That's fine. And the more that you start to feel balance and space, the higher the knees can go. So don't concentrate on that too much. If you cannot balance yet, come into a pose where you're resting your knees on your thighs. And lift your right foot, set it down. Lift your left foot and set it down. So you're always balancing on 3 points. And maybe in that transition, that moment where you're transitioning the legs, you can find a space where you are balancing just on your hands, giving your body that awareness of what it is and what it needs to do. And then if you come into this pose, see if you can find 3 breaths. When you are done, come back down on your feet and then make some nice rotations in the wrists. Nice movements in the wrists. Shake the hands out if that feels right for you. Nice. And then from here, come back into Urdhva Uttanasana, deep forward fold. You're probably still at the back of the mat unless you've moved. And if you are still at the back of the mat, walk your hands to the top of your mat, coming back into downward dog. Gazing to the top, bend your knees, either 2 big steps or a big jump. Come with your feet between your hands. Lift up halfway, feel a gentle back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Transfer the weight in the front of your feet. Keep your spine long. Externally rotate your arms. Come with strength to stand and gaze to your thumbs. And exhale, release your hands to the heart. Pause for a moment. Take this moment just to feel into your body. What is being created here? What is it that will give you this sense of balance back into your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual body? Connect to your breath. Be still. And don't search for anything. Don't look for anything. Don't even think of anything. Just be still and feel. And then gently release the hands to the sides. Root into the feet. We're going to come into Utkatasana. Sink the weight back into the heels as we come up into Utkatasana. And just feel here, inhaling. And with each exhale, can you sit back into that chair a little bit more? Inhale, open your heart, feel activity. So this is not a pose for sleepy people. This is an active pose, but see if you can be soft in this active pose. Let's transfer the weight back onto your tippy toes. Can you lift your heart a little bit more? Exhale, we're going to come all the way down again. And we're going to sink down to the heels with our sits bones. And then from here, we're going to do a little exercise. Let's just, let's take our feet wider. We should have actually done it when we were in Malasana. Let's take our feet wider. It doesn't matter. And see that you have mat underneath your knees. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to tap our right knee to the floor and come back up. Tap our left knee to the floor and come back up. So again, this has to do with balance, stability, core strength. Can you tap your knee to the floor? Maybe you need your hands. That's okay too. Everything starts somewhere. And again, this has to do with just the mobility and the control, tapping your knees to the floor, left and right, and you're going to feel it in your toes too. Again, I do these sort of things for my knees. My knees are still not normal. And again, you're going to feel your core really have to activate to support you here. And then come back to center. Let's take those feet a little bit closer again. We'll come back up into Utkatasana. So with your feet on your tippy toes, on your tippy toes, come back into chair pose. And then slowly let your heels soften down to the floor. Okay, Uttanasana, forward fold. Shake out those legs, rock them from left to right. How are they feeling? Whew. And then with your hands to the mat, take 2 big steps back, come into plank. Let's lower down all the way to the mat. Take those arms out in front. Feel the length from your fingertips to your toes. Superwoman pose or super person pose. Inhale, lift and lengthen. So draw your navel in. Imagine your hip bones are really supporting you, stabilizing you here. And your hands and your feet come off the mat, same height, lengthening. So continue to feel your core engaged because that's what's going to protect your lower back. Take one more breath, lengthen a little bit more. And release, release. Make a pillow with your hands, rock your hips from side to side. So these things are all stimulating our nervous system. You feel how the muscles have to work. Maybe your body starts to shake a little bit. And that's why it's so important to have that balancing breath. Even in, even out. So rocking those hips from side to side. Let's bring the hands by the rib cage. Tuck those toes under. Either sink your hips back to child's pose to come into downward dog or activate from the core and see if you can lift up through plank and exhale on Mukha Svanasana. Inhale your right leg, 3-legged dog. We're going to set the right foot to the outside of the right hand. No, we're not. We're going to set the right foot to the inside of the right hand. Sorry about that. Pull the knee in, set the foot to the inside, and then we're opening up. So that's why we are not setting it to the outside, because we need to have that right arm free to lift up. And then from here, we're going to come into Vashisthasana again. How did you come into the pose last time? Did you pause with your foot in the middle? See if maybe this time you can transition a little bit more fluidly. And if you pause in the middle, there's nothing wrong with that. We're going to lift the top leg and just come into a deeper balancing pose, feeling a little bit more less balanced, but finding that from within. Pull that knee into our chest again, and then come back into 3-legged plank with that right knee into your chest. Okay? Set your right leg nice and high once again. And then foot comes to the outside of your right hand this time. Okay? Outside of your right hand this time. And we're going to set the back foot to the mat again, coming into warrior 2. Sink into that right knee. So similar to what we had done before. Maybe your hand comes a little lower this time. Maybe you still want to grab a block underneath your right hand. Inhale and exhale. And then coming into warrior 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come to the back of the mat. And as we come to the back of the mat, this is my back of the mat now. As we come back to the back of the mat, we're going to come into Skandasana. Skandasana is a half squat with an extend, hands in front of your heart. Can you come into this pose without your hands to the floor? Okay, this is the challenge. This is balance. And then we're going to slowly transition. Use your core. Squeeze into the center. Bend into your right leg now and extend your left leg. Again, if you need your hands, go for it. But this is also balancing and finding that strength. We're going to come to the back of the mat again, turning your right toes to the sky. Maybe your hands stay in front of the heart. And then we're going to come all the way to the front once again. Turn your toes to the top of the mat, your whole body to the top of the mat. Right leg comes back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, lower the foot to the floor. Left leg, lift and extend. Pull the knee into the chest and set the foot to the inside, coming into this twist. So taking your left arm to the sky. And we're gonna come into Vashisthasana again. So again, whatever you did on the other side, do on this side. Maybe you stop in the middle, maybe you transition fluidly with grace, stacking the feet. And then once you're here, take that top leg and lift. Inhale. So this has everything to do with the strength, building that strength, but has to do with balance and stability. Soften the jaw. And then from here, set that knee, keep the knee into the center. Set the foot to the outside. And then set your, no. Yeah, we're setting the foot to the outside, that's right. And then your back foot comes down to the mat, coming into side angle, taking that right arm to the sky. Again, if you have a block under your hand, find the block, inhaling and exhaling. We're gonna inhale, come to standing. I'll turn around again. And we're gonna bring the hands in front of the heart, come to the back of the mat, into Skandasana. Feel the strength, feel your spine long. Exhale, come to the top of the mat. Transition your rotation of your legs. Exhale one more time, come to the back of the mat. And then finishing all the way up, come to the top of your mat, turn your body, and then set your leg back, three-legged dog. Exhale, lower the foot to the floor. Maybe a little shake. How's your body feeling? How's the heat? How is your breath? Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to make some little transitions with your right foot. So set your right foot halfway up your mat. Sorry, just need to adjust my wet hair. Halfway up your mat. And we're going to come into these little jumps. We're going to send your left leg behind you and put all your attention in this left leg and see that it becomes poker straight, nice and strong. Pull your kneecap up, feel that that quadricep is engaged. And we're going to just bend our standing leg, that right leg, and spring, spring, spring. And maybe that's all you do. Maybe each spring, you can come up a little higher. And again, only coming up as high that feels comfortable for you. And then exhale, set the leg down. And we're going to switch sides. The left foot comes a little bit closer. And again, this is balancing. Each time you lifted both feet off your mat, you were doing a handstand. Nobody said that a handstand has to look a certain way. So that left leg now is your foundational leg, and you have a bend in it. It's so bent that my chest and my thigh are connected. My right leg is poker straight. Pulling my kneecap up, I'm feeling activation in my quadricep, and I'm going to just extend that leg to the sky. So this has a lot to do with coordination and, being really aware in your body. So my right leg is going to extend each time I bend my left leg, my right leg extends to the sky. Push the floor away as you bend your knee and send your right leg to the sky. It doesn't matter how high it goes. Does that make sense? And if you've got issues, nice, beautiful. And only go as high as feels safe for you. But this has partly somewhat to do with challenge yourself with something that's scary as well. I always say, if you what's the expression? If you don't do it, you lose it. So it's practicing going upside down, one thing, and practicing doing something that's a little bit scary. So just take a pause here. Let your heart rate catch up to your breath. And even using a wall, if that's the case. I was with a friend on the weekend, and she used to be a gymnast and said, I'm actually afraid of doing a cartwheel. And I said, that's the expression. If you don't move it, you lose it. So trying to do things that are a little bit scary. So that's balance. That's balance. Just balancing on our hands, and it doesn't matter how high you get. Let's come into child's pose. Just straighten your feet again. Let your head drop. Feel your heart rate. And there's many ways to balance without going upside down as well. I'm gonna take those arms overhead, tuck the toes under, come into downward dog. Let's take 2 big steps once again, come to the top of our mat. Come to the top of our mat. Now we're gonna just come into standing splits. Again, it's balance, and it doesn't mean that you have to be doing the splits. Hands are right underneath the shoulders or underneath the heart. And we're gonna just lift that right leg behind us. Okay, this is my standing splits. And just to come into a little bit more challenge with the balance, I'm bending my standing leg so much so that my chest is aligned. I'm leaning my chest against my leg. And then I'm gonna take my left hand around my ankle just to draw my torso a little closer to that standing leg. And then just see if you can do that. And maybe you're touching the floor with your right hand very, very subtly. Okay, and maybe you can take both hands around the ankles, even for a moment. It's all about balance. Is feel that foot being a really solid, rooted part of who you are, rooting into the earth. And then slowly, let's bring that right foot to join the left foot. Rock the hips a little bit. How does that standing leg feel? And every time we balance, we're developing that strength in that standing leg. And then here we're gonna switch. So the right leg is the foundational foot. Bend into the knee so much that my chest and my thigh come together. And this is my standing splits. And then slowly, I'm gonna take my right hand this time and grab my ankle and pull my torso towards my standing leg. And maybe that leg gets a little bit higher. Keep gazing I gaze to my big toe. You gaze to your ankle. And then when you feel stable, maybe for moments, you can have both of your hands around your ankle and just really feel rooted, feel grounded. And then slowly pull that knee and that leg back in towards you to the mat. Dangling, grab onto your opposite elbows. And this time we're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time to standing. And as you come up, bring the head up last. Make some nice circles in through the shoulders. How's your body feeling? So there's been some challenges, some strength challenges, maybe some balancing challenges, but always knowing that you can step it back to a modified variation of this and just shake out how the wrists, the shoulders, how are your hips, your knees, your ankles. Then we will begin in chair pose once again. So sink the weight back into your heels. Inhale, lift up, Utkatasana. And exhale, soften. Soften meaning enjoy that chair, sink it back. Weights in your heels. Lift the heart. Let's come onto the tippy toes once again. And then slowly, 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 we're gonna come all the way down, so that we're resting our heels and our sits bones, and then see if we can start to lift the chest again. We're gonna come to a seated position, so transfer the arms and the weight forward, so as the heels come down and the sits bones come down, you can do that hopefully with grace, and if you need your hands, use your hands. Boat pose, also balancing. Balance on your sits bones. Use your hands by your feet. Really feel your chest open and lengthen. Take an inhale here. Activate the core. Feel the strength. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. And one more breath like this. Inhale, feeling still and stable. Grab behind the knees, cross the feet at the ankle, pull the knees into the chest, this little tiny ball, and we're gonna just push into the hands. Again, this is balancing, pushing in, lifting up, and then lowering back down. If that's impossible, grab some blocks, lift up against the blocks, exhale, lower back down. Okay, we're gonna do one more of these boat poses. And this time we're gonna transition lengthening the legs or straightening the legs. Starting like this, activate, release the hands. We're going to inhale, straighten one leg. Exhale, come together. Inhale, straighten the other leg. Exhale, come together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And do the best you can. You're never going to grow if you don't try. Inhale 4 and exhale. Inhale 5 and exhale. Grab behind the knees, cross the ankles the other way this time. Notice how it feels in your body this way. And then inhale, lift, pull away from the floor. Exhale, lower back down. Whew. Pull your knees into your chest. Let's stay in a little ball here and just give yourself the tightest little hug. Pull those feet in as close as they go. Maybe your forehead drops to your legs, your knees. Take a few big breaths into the back side of your body. And then slowly release. We're going to come onto our back. So just release and rock right and left, front and back. How does the spine feel? And then finish up on your back. Finish up on your back. So bring the feet as close to your glutes, so your legs are bent, as close to your glutes as possible, and feel your heels with your fingertips. So that's how close your feet are. And with the next inhale, we are going to press into the heels. Start to lift the hips, one vertebrae at a time. Clasp the hands underneath the back and continue to press into the heels as though you want to touch the ceiling with your hips and the wall in front of you with your knees. So feel the activation in the entire lower part of your body. The neck is lengthening, the arms are pressing into the mat, and lengthen. Inhale and exhale. Feel the strength in your legs. Keep going and use the breath to give you the power. What we're going to do here now, actually, let's just come down. Release the hands and one vertebrae at a time, come down. So we'll pause in this first round just to relax through the hips and the legs. Rock your legs from left to right. So we're going to come into the same pose. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift one leg from the floor. So it's going to be, again, finding the balance, but also feeling the strength, creating that balance, I should say. So your feet come nice and close. Let us begin. Feel the heels with your fingertips and inhale. Lift one vertebrae at a time off the mat. Start to walk your upper arms as close to one another as possible. And then inhaling once again, lift those hips, lift or draw the knees forward and feel your arch just deepen in your lower back. We're going to shimmy that left foot to the middle of the mat a little bit, and we're going to lift and draw that right leg to the sky. So this is strength. This is a lot of strength, but it's also finding exactly where that foot needs to be, creating the space here to feel that balance. Take one more breath. Inhale, reach those toes to the sky. Exhale that foot down. See that that foot's in the middle of your body, and transition that left leg to the sky. So you're creating what you want here. Push that right foot so deeply in the mat that that left leg lengthens to the sky. Inhaling and exhaling. You're going to feel that muscle in your leg. That's okay, that grounding leg. Take one more breath. Lift a little higher. And then exhale. Bring the feet back down to the floor. Keep your hips lifted. Come onto your tippy toes. And then release your arms overhead. Okay, so you're really lifting still. And then one vertebrae at a time. From your neck to your upper back, start to lower down. And as you do this, your arms, like a lever, start to come back down. See that you're not putting two vertebrae at a time down, one at a time, so slowly with awareness. And then until you hit your tailbone to the mat, and then coming with all your back. And then windshield wiper your legs left and right, left and right. And let's just finish up with a shoulder stand. Grab onto a block. We are going to do it in a therapeutic way. And find the height that works for you when you use a block. You can even use the highest if you're feeling like you really want to get into your lower back. You can use middle. You can use two stacked on top of one another. I like to do that sometimes. And then from here, see that it's on your sacrum, not on your lumbar spine. So just that triangular bone right above your tailbone. And then bringing both feet up and over. Again, we're finding balance here. We are stacking feet, knees, hips, and making it easy. Making it easy in the sense that we can just feel. It becomes effortless. And as we're inverted, we're getting the same effects as if we were actually doing a full expression shoulder stand. But we're able to really be in our body in the stillness. Feel the flushing of energy. Draw down those legs and into the body, into the heart. Maybe you feel your heartbeat differently as it's pumping the blood back through the body. Maybe there's more awareness. And this is a good moment just to come back to your intention. Your intention. Why are you here today? What is it that you desire for yourself, for your body, your mind, your soul? What is the balance you are wanting to create for yourself? Bring the neck so gently. Just take one foot down to the earth at a time. Feel grounded, feel stable. Lift the hips, remove the blocks. Keep your hips lifted. And gently clasp your thumbs underneath you. So hands are flat and you're clasping your thumbs, not your hands. We want a flat surface. And continue to work the shoulders, upper arms, the shoulder blades together. Slowly lower down so that you're sitting on your hands and extend those legs. And as you extend those legs, push into your forearms and let the head fall back. You might want to rock from left to right and just feel this sense of freedom, openness. Feel your heart open, feel the chest widen. And breathe deeply into your chest. I'm going to allow those last 3 final breaths before coming out to be breaths of releasing. So taking a full inhale, stick your tongue out, exhale, lion's breath. And do 3 of those. And ever so slowly, lower your body back down to the mat. Remove your arms from being underneath you. We're going to just do a gentle twist before we completely finish. So extending your right leg, tuck your left toes behind your right knee, roll onto your right side. Your right hand can grab your left thigh. Inhale, open up and gaze to the left as you twist your torso. And really scan through the body, scan through that left shoulder, the left armpit, the left pectoid muscles, the left side of your body, even through your left glute. Really feel this opening. Take the gaze to your left thumb. And if your head doesn't turn that far, then just take your eyeballs in that direction. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Take one more on the side. And exhale. And then slowly roll onto your back. Roll onto your back. Switch sides. Left leg is long. Right toes hook behind the left knee. And then just shift your hips so that you're rolling on the left side of your body. Grab onto your left thigh, your right thigh with your left hand. And inhale. Use your right arm as a door. Open it, unwind, and take the gaze to that right thumb. Even if your head doesn't turn that far, grab that thumb in your peripheral vision and inhale, breathe. And exhale. Where are you feeling the stretch on this side? Is it already up in the shoulder, in the arm? Is it through the torso or through the hip? Take the biggest fullness of breath. And exhale, surrender. Inhaling. And exhale. Final breath. And exhale. Slowly roll back onto your back. Square those hips so they're aligned with your shoulders. Extend your feet and see that your feet are at least mat width apart. Let them open up and fall to the sides. Take your hands nice and wide as well. And externally rotate your shoulders so that the palms are up to the sky. Just creating this space, this openness. Find comfort. Connect to stillness. Quiet the mind. Soften the breath. And feel. Breathe. And feel your own energy flow. And if you choose to stay here a little longer, know that that's always possible. Otherwise, I invite you to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotate wrists and ankles, slowly feeling your body again. Taking those arms overhead, finding a nice length and stretch here. Inhaling and exhaling. And when you're ready, pulling those knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Big, loving hug. Love, compassion, forgiveness, appreciation, gratitude. All the things that you can offer yourself. And when you're ready, roll onto one side. And just pause for a moment. Just know that this is the moment where you're transitioning into your day. Whatever it looks like, remember this pause. Come back to it when things get a little bit crazy. And lift yourself up, keeping your eyes closed whenever you're ready. And just bring your hands in front of your heart.
I feel deeply rooted. I'm connected to my body. I feel safe and secure. Just like a tree or a star, I have the right to be here. I stand for my values and for truth and for justice. And I have what it needs, what I need. I'm grounded and stable and standing on my own 2 feet. I'm open to possibilities. And I'm grateful for all the challenges that have helped me to grow and transform to where I am today. I trust in the goodness of life. I make choices that are healthy and good for me. I trust in myself. And I love my life. May you feel loving kindness. May you be happy and well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you continue to be healthy and safe and happy. Take a little bow here, just honoring yourself, looking inward, giving thanks. I say thank you, thank you, thank you to each one of you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.